Google is unlocking Chrome.
So, John, I understand you have some news for us on some new advances with Google Chrome.
I don't know if it's an advance per se. It may be a step backwards. It depends on what side of the fence you sit on. Google has announced that with one of the upcoming releases of Google Chrome, they're actually going to remove the lock on the URL address bar. So all that lessons that we've taught users for the last how many years to look at that URL address bar to see if, hey, I am SSL or TLS encrypted, kind of going away. We've told users over and over again, look for that lock, look for that lock. And I think that this is kind of a play on the fact that most people are doing browsing from from phones, and the URL bar is gone. So they're not seeing that bar like they used to on a browser of a PC. So Google is going to start deprecating that lock. You can, as an industry or as an enterprise or even as a person, turn it back on if you want to see it, if it makes you feel comfortable. But, I don't know. From a security perspective, like I said, I have mixed emotions. I know why they're doing it, because most sites are SSL encrypted or TLS encrypted anyway today. So it's kind of superfluous. Maybe we want to start training people to look for the unencrypted, because there's actually going to be a message that's not secure that they're going to start giving for sites that are not encrypted. But on the other hand, it puts a lot of those lessons that we've taught people from right from the day they were born, to look for that lock. So I don't know. What do you all think about this change from Google?
I think it's going to cause some initial confusion, that's for sure. I mean, people have been trained to look for the lock, and suddenly they're at their favorite website one day after the latest Chrome update, and there's no longer a lock. Do you think it's more likely that they're going to say, oh, Chrome has changed its UI, I have nothing to worry about, or they're going to have a mild panic attack and then call up the help desk and say, hey, all of my sites are insecure, what's going on? So I think it's the latter, and I'm not sure this is a good idea. I feel like it's possible to get past it with a little bit of user education and some time, but I don't think it's necessarily a better decision.
I actually kind of lean the other way a little bit. With everybody being pushed towards HTTPS, TLS encrypting everything, now what's going to show up is, if it isn't encrypted, then it's going to get that not secure thing sitting in front of it. There may be some. I'm not going to be answering phones at a help desk, so maybe there will be some more people calling up asking about it, but it just means now we need to, instead of telling people to look for the little lock when they're safe, now we need to make sure that they're paying attention to when it says not secure. That means it's not encrypted. It means we need to change up our training a little bit, but with the vast majority of the systems moving towards, TLS, HTTPS all the time, I don't think it's a huge deal, but that's me.
Yeah. Well, and I think the other part of this, of course, is that we used to always say, I'll take your your side of it a little bit too, Jim, is that we used to always say, hey, if it's not locked, then it's probably malicious or faking it. But now it's real easy to get a certificate and turn on TLS encryption, even for the malicious sites. So it's not like you can count on the fact that it's unencrypted to be bad, or encrypted and be good. It's not, it's not that kind of a gate anymore. But I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm still torn. I keep thinking of, talking to my folks, my parents and grandparents, or even, and say, if you see that lock, it's good, and now they're going to have to relearn it. So it's going to possibly cause confusion, but again, with the lack of that URL bar even on most phones, phone browsers, it's probably not as big a deal as we're thinking it might be.
You know what? Thinking on what you guys just said, I can kind of see why this decision might have been made. I mean, I think we've all heard in the past, like, just because it has the lock doesn't necessarily mean that the site doesn't have any security problems. So, I mean, it's possible that, yeah, you've got a vulnerable website, or something weird about the TLS itself. It is much easier to definitively say something is not secure if there is something wrong with it. Either it's missing TLS or there's something misconfigured in TLS. It's more of a correct statement instead of saying this is secure and ignoring all other possible avenues of it being insecure because we're only concerned about TLS. Saying definitively when it is not secure, you can point to something and say, yeah, here's why it's not secure. So maybe it is a little more correct overall.
Yeah, we'll see if any other browsers follow their lead. I
Yeah.
assume that the other Chromium-based ones probably will. Edge and Brave and Vivaldi and those probably will go the same way because Google will push that out into the Chromium code base. But we'll see. It'll be interesting to see.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Time will tell, and we'll see, what the confusion rate is. And it may be, cross our fingers.